We're heading into fall, and fall is a great time to declutter because you're kind of in between summer and the holidays. So it's just a great time to reassess what you have in your house and what spot is more vital and more used in your home than the kitchen. Oh my goodness, talk about frequent flyer. It's what everybody in the house is using many, many times a day. And so it's so important to get it decluttered and organized and cleaned the way you want it to be cleaned, or even easier to clean because it's decluttered. So I'm so excited to bring you this decluttering marathon straight out of the kitchen. I compiled different videos that I have. I did some re-editing so that I could bring you a body doubling opportunity where you can be working around your house, hopefully working in your kitchen, and we can work together. So I've got 2 hours of video of really decluttering, organizing every single bit of this kitchen. So let me know if this is something that motivates you, inspires you, and if it is, I'll prepare more of these for you. I see cleaning marathons quite often, but I rarely ever see a decluttering, organizing marathon. So here we are, 2 hours worth. Don't forget to take breaks, and let's get decluttering. This is the cabinet in the corner underneath my countertop. And as you can see, it's quite a mess. I have a lot of stuff under there and it's super deep. So it is very hard to get the things that I want when I want them. And I just really felt like I needed to clean it out. Just for an example, here's the caps from my spray oil. There were 4 under there, and I don't even have any spray oil right now. So it's been a big problem. And so this container right here is what I usually have my oil and vinegars in. And there was some oil that had got leaked there. And so it was a mess. But I am going to actually use a smaller container. I'm not going to use this one anymore. I also had a plastic shoebox under there, and that really is enough to suffice for all of my oils and vinegars right now. I used to have a Lazy Susan with my old cabinetry, and that thing was always off center. It always needed to be repaired, and granted, they were older cabinets because they were original to the house, but I swore when I replaced my cabinets, I wasn't going to do the Lazy Susan. It was one of those ones that had a pole down the middle, so it was attached. I think if the Lazy Susan could come out, or if the cabinet drawer could come out, if something could come out toward me, I wouldn't mind it so much, and I could see having a turntable would be easier than what I got going on right now. I mean, look, there's just stuff it's cruddy, it's dirty. I just haven't been keeping a good enough track of that, and one of the reasons is just very awkward to get under there. Someone in the comments recently inquired as to why I have my pans under the stairs, and this is really why. This would be the cabinet where they would most likely, most easily go. It's really the only one that is big enough to hold all of my pans and frying pans, but here I am using a mop to get out the last of what's in there. It's just a very awkward space for me, and so it's not where I want to be climbing in every single day, if that makes sense. So now I've taken everything out of that cabinet, and there it is on the island in all of its beauty. You can see I have a lot of things that would have stored things in my pantry, and so I am going to, not in this video, but very soon in the next couple, you'll see me actually use these pantry things. I think I've gotten lazy of just putting everything in its box that it came in. So here is underneath, I had liners and they're just all over the place. There's crumbs on them. This hasn't been cleaned out in quite a bit of time. And then this placemat on the left, I'm not quite sure why I even had that in there still. That's not going to be going back in. So I get my Dyson out and I put on an attachment to get the worst of the crumbs, but I was kind of hoping I wouldn't have to take these out and clean them. But as it turned out, I needed to do both. So I'm getting the worst of it with the vacuum, and then I'll take them out and wipe them down as well. Whenever I organize a space now, this is a recent lesson is I think, what is my vision for this space? I'm not going to store things somewhere just because they need to be stored. They have to have a purpose, and that purpose is why they are even in that space. So the oils and the vinegars go in first. I want them to be the easiest to reach. Then the mixer, we do use the mixer, especially in the wintertime. Yvonne loves to bake, and so she will be using that. And then I also have my food processor, and you're going to see me, I get in a fight with the food processor because I was going to put it all together and store it that way, but I realized quickly that it was too tall to go in there, but then I couldn't get that dumb thing off and I had to call for help. I want to throw it in the trash right now. Hey Mike, Chris is having way too much fun. Over there.
What's wrong?
I can't get this thing off because it hates me.
You can't get it off?
Because it hates me.
Okay, I'm going to take this out first.
Why?
Because it has a hook here that it uses to tell whether it's on or off.
Oh my word, I hate it. I hate that thing. Okay, that wasn't one of my better moments, but I thought, you're going to get the real thing. Like, stuff doesn't all go smoothly for me. And the girls were over at the table doing their schoolwork, and they were having a good giggle over me, completely helpless to that food processor. But anyway, now I'm going to the blender and I'm getting these things wiped off because sometimes when we're using them, and I'll say we, even though sometimes I don't think it's me, but sometimes when we're using these things, they're not getting wiped off properly. So I'm making sure that there's no foodstuffs or tomato sauces or anything on this before I get it put away. But I do use the blender quite often. It's just one of those other things. So I'm making sure that everything that goes in there is being used. The rice cooker went in there. You know, I will show you the full deal. And then also what was in there was one of my produce keepers. And let me just say, I have all these great things, but I haven't been using them the way that I should. So I really want to get the food stuff under control, and I'm just making sure that this all fits, and then I can put that cabinet back together again. And one of the problems is when I switched my eating plan and wasn't having to prepare as much food for myself, then I kind of fell down on keeping the food organized. But I really feel like you save a lot of money when you can be very intentional about, or at least I do, when I can be super intentional about how food is stored, and then everybody can see what they have. Here is the reveal of how I want that cabinet. These are all the tools and things that we actually use consistently. And even though there's empty spaces, I'm liking it. And this is the stuff that is being evicted from the space. It's use it or lose it. This cabinet also has a problem. Do you see those lids on that middle shelf? So I really want this cleaned up. I don't believe we need all these lids. They came with our pots and pans when we got the new Cuisinart, is it called? I don't even know how to pronounce it, but I got those new pans and those lids came with it. But I have lids the same size with my old pans, and these lids tend to heat up and you have to be careful, whereas my old lids don't heat up at all. And so I like to use those a lot better because I don't have to worry about grabbing the handle. So I'm just getting this cabinet neatened up. I love this cabinet because it's loose. It doesn't have a lot of stuff. It's basically, you know, those pans that you're cooking in for casseroles and my batter bowls. And then here is where my other pan lids live. And I don't really want to have two lid racks. So this was a toy of my cats that they never use. It's one of those ones where you put your little nose in to get the food out. They are not interested. And then I'm getting rid of that Rubbermaid. And then this one too, the two rounded ones. I'm just kind of doing this a little bit quietly. We never use it. No one's going to miss it. But if I were to ask, should I get rid of it? I'm pretty sure the answer would have been no. That's all going aside to be donated, and then I'm just kind of organizing these pantry pieces as best I can. I'm going to be using them. I was seeing if they fit in that corner cabinet, but in the end I decided no, they're definitely not going back in. I'm going to organize my pantry in the next few days, and then if I don't use them, they're definitely going to be leaving the house. Now I'm getting out all of these other lids, and I'm going to be getting the pans out from under the stairs. I want to just get all of my pots and pans out. That vase is going to be going in the basement with my box of vases for the spring, but I want all the pots and pans out, and just to make sure I have a lid for each size of frying pan and pan that I own. Of course, there's Leo, because he detected that there was something going on on the island with a camera, and he was not invited, so he had to come out and see what I was doing. But this reminds me of those little preschool workbooks I used to get my kids. You could imagine having to draw a line from the size lid to the right pan. What my plan is for these lids, so the ones I'm trying, I found I did have one for every size pan I had without using the newer lids that I really don't like. I don't like them because you can't see through them, and I don't like them because they heat up and you have to use a pot holder to take the lid off the pan. And so what I'm going to do with the newer lids is, I'm pretty sure it would be an unpopular decision to get rid of them. I'm going to put them in a box. I saw this idea. It's not my idea. I think it was the Minimal Mom having an interview with a man named Josh, who has a very successful minimalism YouTube channel. I think he's a counselor maybe. Either way, he suggested you put the stuff in a box. On the outside of the box is a detailed list of what is inside the box and a date. Then I'm going to pick a future date, and then if I go back to that box and it's not been used, I can get rid of them. So these were two other lids I had that I no longer need. I had duplicates of the same size. These are the ones that are going to get packed in a small cardboard box with the inventory list on the outside. And now I'm just so much happier that my casserole dishes, I got my batter bowls in there, and also my food scale. Now it's nice and neat again without those ugly lids in there. And then this is where my real lids go. Now this was after a day of using them and doing dishes, so some are missing. They're in the dishwasher, but you get the general idea. And then I thought you might like to see a tour of the rest of my cabinets. So I have my hot plate and the sushi stuff up there in the box, and then spices and such. Here at the top is our tea and then coffee stuff, coffee mugs down at the bottom. And then in this one, those are our waffle iron and then some of the dishes that we use when baking. I got to get that teacup and saucer out of there. And then I also have my little blender in there, for lack of a better place to put it, that I use for my shakes each day. You've seen this cabinet. The glasses and cups are mostly in the dishwasher right now. That's why it looks so empty. This is under the sink, and what I did in a previous video where I got this all organized is still working really well, and I like it a lot. Now this could use a little help. I'm not quite sure how many microfiber cloths I really should be keeping. Probably have more scrubbies in there that I need. So that is all up and coming. And then this is where we keep our leftovers. You know, those are the containers rather, and then water bottles, and that could use a declutter as well. And then this, of course, is the corner cabinet that we just did. And as the lighting improves, you can see again what is in there. And then to the left of that one, this is the drawer where I keep tools that I want to be able to grab quickly when I am cooking. And then you'll see in the island, I have a bigger drawer for the overflow. And then this is where my pot holders go, as well as things like cookie sheets, broiler pans, and my cooling rack. And then we also have the drawers to the left of the stove, so you can see what is in here, all of my cutting boards. And we use quite a few at a time because sometimes we all cook together. This is a bit of a mess. It is all of our kitchen tools. We definitely use all this stuff. I've decluttered it many times. I could probably stand to do it again. And then the mixing bowls are here, and the sifter, and a few little tools. And then this was to a blender that is broken. I got rid of the blender, so now I can get rid of that protective shield. Don't need that anymore. And then over here, this is under our island. I keep spare paper towels, any cooking stones, our roaster, as well as crock pot. So it's not perfect. I'd love to have another shelf in there. This is my silverware drawer. I love these dollar store containers I got. And then this is where the overflow of the kitchen tools are. I got those dividers, I think, at TJ Maxx. Things that I wanted to do today is it is really bugging me, the disorganization in my kitchen. Like, some of the stuff works really well and other things aren't working at all. So I really want to go through that. For example, the foods that my husband and I are eating for our health program, we have mostly in our bedroom and in the area that's for coffee. But one of the problems, besides the fact that I'd rather not have it in my bedroom, is even the area where our coffee is. My daughters are teenagers now. They're getting into buying their own coffee mugs, which is fine, but it's kind of edging out my coffee area. So since I can't really do anything about the coffee mugs, I thought if I could get my food out of there. So I just need to generally reorg. Plus, we got a new blender. We got a Vitamix, but we haven't gotten rid of the old blender that was really on its literal last leg. I don't think it's even worthy of donation. And I think I might have another appliance. There's a bunch of crumbs under there because we keep the toasters under there. There's just some things in the kitchen. Enough with the chit chat. It's time for me to get started on my work for the day. And so I decided to go kind of top down, and I wanted to get everything cleared off the top. I am leaving 2 notebooks up there that are family recipes and recipes that we commonly use. I will say the notebook that has recipes we commonly use, at some point I'm going to need to get that decluttered. There's just so many recipes in there that we never use, that we printed off with good intentions, or we used them once and never used them again. So as I was clearing out, I knew that I wanted to bring our food from our health program in here. So this was underneath my bed, and I'm bringing all of that out to the kitchen. I want to see what it is I want to be creating. Originally, I was going to put it up on the top shelf, but then as I'm looking through, I'm realizing I don't really want to reach to the top shelf every time I go for food. So I decided to use this shelf right here. I'm going to need to clear all that out. My idea was I wanted to clean out and set up what I want to be set up in the way I want it set up. And then I'll figure out what to do with all of the things that have just been ousted. I noticed that these canisters were dusty on top, or they would have little remnants of food on them from the pantry falling down on them. So I decided to wipe them up really quickly. I decided it would make more sense to put the things that we use when we're scratch baking, which we don't do very often unless the girls are making like homemade pancakes, which really doesn't happen a lot, and they're working a lot. So I decided to put those on the top shelf, and I also put the cereal up there. It's still super accessible. I like that way better than I thought I would. So the cereal is up here, and then I always put the heavier stuff where I have the braces because it holds it better. You have to put light stuff on the ends because these will like dip. It's not that overly sturdy. So that works out very well. It leaves this whole bottom for me to put our foods, my husband and I's foods. I just left out my monk fruit because I use that when I drink tea, so it makes more sense that it would be up with the tea. This is the mess that I'm trying to figure out. I have this, but oftentimes, it's over full, which actually I could put these in there now. But when I first shop, things don't fit as perfectly as they do in a TikTok video. For some reason, in my life, things don't fit perfect. Are you like that? I think we all are. So I have all these mugs, and the girls, mostly it's theirs. Some of them probably are dirty, and that's why there's space. So if I could get my stuff out of there, it'll give us some more room. And perhaps I will bring down the teas and bring them to this level. We'll see. Start with my overflow boxes. I even have room to double stack, which is nice. Oops. box and they fall out of the box. That's not nice. I am quickly in the zone here. I am just in my happy place when I can get myself involved in a project and everybody's kind of off doing their own thing and I can just completely focus. I absolutely love that feeling. An empty box. This will be for my Goodwill stuff by the door. All right, I love this. I could probably even put more of my husband's overstock here. We'll have to see what he prefers. And now I can work on this. So the onions and potatoes will stay there. And then I'm going to have cleaners here. I'm going to take out some of these bags and put them in cars because that's when we use them, is when we go to the grocery store or wherever. Because in Maine, you're supposed to bring your own bags if you can. And then I got birdseed and a pot that we use sometimes when we're having company. So I'm going to keep the pot there. The pot, some of the bags, we got bird food that I'm going to put in a container. And then cleaners, we have cat treats and onions and potatoes. And then I'm hoping what that's going to do is alleviate this mess under here. I'm kind of understanding why I haven't done this before, because once you start one area of your kitchen, you just have to keep going because every spot affects another spot. Can she shut the door? Yep. Yay! Okay. All right. Things I grab for all the time. Bathroom cleaner. I feel like I only need a couple of these in the house, and the rest of these need to go in cars. Actually, I think all of these need to go in cars. I'm very happy with this. I have the cereals, the baking stuff, recipes here, and then another notebook of recipes here. And then what we had before for food is all here. And then I was able to put our food for our health program for my husband and I here. And then down here, onions, room for potatoes in the back. And then cat treats, my cleaners. This is what I would grab too all the time. This is overflow. I think this is going to help me not to overbuy and to use this stuff up. Then over here is the bird seed, and then the pot that I probably will be using when we have guests next week. So that's a bigger pot that we don't use very often, just when we have company. Now under the sink I can have just things we grab right when we're at the sink. So my vinegar and my dishwasher tabs were fine. I use white vinegar instead of the expensive rinse. And then my extra sponges, I'm going to do garbage bags, small garbage bags, and large garbage bags in this one, and spare sponges. I do keep this in case of a pinch, but I use plastic ones now, so I will keep that. I see I have some brine down there. large trash bags. One box is small in here because we use it sometimes when we're throwing out nasty food. And then one for the bathroom. This can go with this. That's large. Vinyl gloves. Extra sponges. Oven sponges. And then white erase. So that's good. And maybe these work gloves can go there too. All right. This is gross. Paste, cleaning paste for the sink, an extra Dawn. This I use to water plants and to fill my steamer, so I don't need this one. I can get rid of that. Fertilizer for my plants. Drain cleaner. Let's see. I think we're good. I think maybe I'll move these here. I don't know. Huh. No, never mind. All right, and the spare drain. What a difference. That is a thing of beauty. All right, I just took a lunch break and that felt really good. I needed to rest, although I'm kind of having fun because I feel like I'm really being productive. These were both in the pantry. This one, we don't really use either one, but this one I have a lid for. So sometimes if I have guests and we make iced tea from the powder or we make lemonade, I might use this. I'll keep this one. This one I only ever use to water my plants, and I do have a watering pot, so I don't need this one, and I will declutter this and put it in the box I emptied just a little bit ago. I feel like this is going to be easy. So I'm going to take out everything that's in this shelf and this shelf. These are all mugs, and so I do know that they're all going to be stained. No one wants to get rid of their mugs. This candle is from Christmas. It's balsam scented. I am going to get rid of this. By the time Christmas comes, will I even remember it? Probably not. So, and my daughters do love to give me candles for gifts, so I feel like I can safely get rid of this one, knowing probably another one's going to come down the pike. This I need to ask my husband about. It is a fiber powder, but he uses a different one now, so I think it's going to end up getting decluttered, but I'll check with him first. And then donut shop blend, I'm going to quietly get rid of this. Nobody's drinking it. And I have a daughter who works for Starbucks, and every so often they send them home with a free bag of coffee. So I feel like since this is like cheap, not getting drank, and I don't even know how old it is. Oh, actually, it's expired, so that's easy. So getting rid of that. So look, decluttering. Oh, I need my stool. Oh my, I just found a ton of candles. Well, there's some trash. Ashwagandha tea is a great idea because it's so healthy, but it's nasty. Get rid of that. This I'll keep because it goes nicely in my dining room. I'm just gonna wipe it out real quick up here. I'm not going back to this shelf. You see that? So we have Dunkin' Midnight, Cafe Verona, notes of dark cocoa and caramelized sugar, and Guatemala Antigua. So, and we do K-cups. Now we have some loose, I don't know how old these are, I'm gonna get rid of them. I'm also getting rid of this, and this loose leaf tea that nobody drinks. All right, so anything Christmassy is going. Actually, all three of these are Christmassy, and I'm pretty sure this one's lilac. The reason that this one hasn't gotten burned all the way down is I have a really hard time with floral, but it was a gift, so I felt like I needed to burn it. So I would burn it a little bit at a time, and then finally I just kind of put it away when a new one came in. So I'm actually going to be getting rid of all four of these. This one is Stress Relief. And so I might try this one. I have a feeling that this one was hard for me too, but I'm going to light it right now, and that way I'll know if I can tolerate it or not. But 1, 2, 3, 4 are going. This one was also hard for me. It's White Barn. It's patchouli and rosewood. I'm going to get rid of that one too. This goes really well with the lemons, and I remember enjoying the smell from last year. This one's quite good too. It's called Cactus. There we go, Cactus Blossom. Next, I'm gonna go through my teas and make sure that none of them are expired. This is brand new, so I know this one's fine. But sometimes, oh yeah, sometimes they get lost in the pile, and we'll buy a new one thinking we're out. Big peppermint drinkers here. Green tea. I'm pretty sure this one's new. Truvia. We don't really use Truvia. There's only a few packets. I'm going to get rid of that because I have this monk fruit. Chamomile had gotten pushed back. Nope, May 2025. This one's expired. Wild berry, we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of this one. I'm going to put this in the pantry for the girls in case they want it. This is for loose leaf, and I'm not doing loose leaf, so I'm just going to get rid of this. And then these at the bottom, I just have no idea. This is the only one that has expiration, and it's expired, so I'm just going to get rid of these that are in the bottom. And this expired. I like to give things a quick wipe. All right, so I'm going to put the ones that we hardly ever drink in first. Then I think what I'm going to do is put the coffees on the top because I can have them move to the front where everybody can see them. And I'm loving that. And I'll put the coffee grinder up there. as well. And I'm going to put my sugars over here with my cinnamon spice tea, because that's the only time I use my sugar is when I'm drinking my cinnamon tea. And then these go up here where people can see them. I'll put Dunkin' in the middle. Along with the scoops. And we'll put the vanilla right here. This cookbook was a gift, and although it's a beautiful cookbook, it does have some good recipes in it, but we never ever turned to it. It just never took, and I can't eat most of what's in here anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and donate this as well. Next, I want to get under my kitchen island, because there's definitely some things under there to get rid of or that shouldn't be where they are. Right off the bat, I know these, I have a box of these in the basement. I am struggling with whether I'm actually going to use these or not in my pantry. Do you guys take everything out of the packaging and put it in plastic? I just don't find that I love it. I mean, I love the look of it, but here's what happens. Let's say I have Teddy Grahams in one of these, right? Then I get new Teddy Grahams. Well, let's say I know we're going to need, do I wait and keep the box of Teddy Grahams until this is completely empty? Do I dump out the old, put in the new, put the old on top? Because I don't want to have old Teddy Grahams if I just keep putting them on top. That kind of thing. I don't see that my family eats things more or less because they're in these. So, and where my family is getting smaller by the day, I just don't know if these are a good idea, but they were an investment. So I want to make sure I really decide before I get rid of them. So let me know in the comments, does your pantry look like these things all lined up? Or do you, and then you might get something and it doesn't fit, so then what do you do with the extra? You see, all kinds of issues I don't have when I just put it in their packaging and all. Now, I would say the only exception is if I had ants or something getting in the food. By the way, you're hearing my dishwasher in the background. So I'm gonna put these in the basement in that box. This is my slow cooker. I use it constantly, which leads me to this. This beast. This I need to be replaced, but we haven't replaced it, and we're still using it, so I guess I will keep it till we stop using it. Oh, before I get to this, these, when we had our counters done, they gave us this as a gift, but it has no purpose. It's literally pieces of the countertop. They said I could use it as a cutting board, but it'll dull my knives and it will scratch over time. It's not heat safe. There's literally no purpose to it. So I am going to get rid of both of them. This is staying for now until I get a new one, and I would love to get a smaller one. This beast, I was really looking for a like mega large crock pot for when like family comes and all this, and I misread the label at Walmart, thought this was a crock pot. I get it home, it's a roaster. not only is it a roaster, but the outside heats up. So if you have it on 400 degrees, I swear the outside metal is 400 degrees. So even when my family is visiting, I would never have this going on a countertop because I have young grandchildren. I would be afraid they would burn themselves. So we have used it like twice, and we have kept it. I have a double oven. I don't need it. So I talked to my husband, and he's sad about it because it was something that we bought, but I reminded him it honestly it didn't cost any more than taking our entire family out to supper once. So somebody is going to be blessed by it at Goodwill, and I'm going to be blessed that it's not taking up half of this island. And stubbornly, I was like, I'm not putting that in the basement. I'm trying not to use my basement as a graveyard for things that are dead, buried, never used, but we don't want to get rid of, right? I'm trying to change. So, long story longer, we're getting rid of this. This is for if any of my daughters take a lunch to work, which no one has been doing, but maybe I'll remind them and see if they want to keep it. This is mine, and I plan to use it going to the beach. I don't need it to be under the island, but at the same time, I don't really know where else to put it. And then I have my baking stones, which I keep under my island because sliding them in and out where I keep my cookie sheets ruined my last cabinets. So I don't want to do that again. So I keep those in here for when we do pizza. So this is pretty easy now. It's pretty manageable for what's under there. And I also want to put these under there. Now this I'm tempted to get rid of because it's really for if you bake, which we don't. Although we do once in a while. I guess I'll keep it for a while. It's also good if you like bring cupcakes to church or cookies to church. And I only have one of them. I just talked myself into keeping it. Okay, unless I find a better place for it, I guess I'll keep it. But I thought I would put all of this under the island. All right, let's see how it all fits. Okay, I guess I didn't have my camera turned on. So right now I have my pizza pans here, my crock pot here. I realized it would be perfect if I had a second shelf here. So maybe at some point I'll be successful in convincing someone to do that for me. Actually, that's not bad. All right. And then spare paper towels. I might like to find a place for my paper towels at another date, but for now they're fine right there. That is so much better. Last spot for today, right here. Again, we have bought some new things. There's crumbs from my toaster. I haven't gotten rid of the old thing when we got the new thing, so I need to pull the stuff out. I'm not pulling that out because it's super heavy. But the other things I really do need to pull out. Actually, I'll leave this, but the rest of it will come out. Hey, since you're here, come here. Need the
Old blender.
old blender, whatever's behind it, not the pizza thing, and all the stuff on the bottom shelf. You can see the crumbs from my toasters, because I have one toaster for regular bread here, and then this toaster is for gluten-free bread. We just don't use them enough to keep them on a countertop, but we do still use them. So I keep them, but I mean, if it was up to my husband and I, we don't eat bread anymore, but the kids once in a while will have a piece of toast, so we do keep them. But I need to put them in a box or something and then put them under there because the crumbs are a problem. This I need to get rid of because now we have this, because this was dying, so this is going to go. I'm hoping it'll fit in this, which I think it will. Just barely. Okay, well, close enough. I don't know. It really doesn't. Close enough to get it to the dump. Then this we got, and it worked for a little while. We got it on Amazon, and then it just stopped working. And then it would work sometimes and not others. It was not good. There's the brand, in case you want to know. Then we replaced it with this one, and they all come with steamer baskets now, which is nice. If you want to steam. That's not what we use it for, but I liked that it had like white rice, oatmeal, quinoa, brown rice. So you just push the button for whatever you're making, and it does the timing on its own. So we have this one, but we didn't get rid of this one. And then this is to put produce in the fridge. I have a couple up here, and there's a couple behind that cup. So I think that's plenty. I'm going to get rid of this one. For one thing, it doesn't fit in the cabinet that they go in. And so then I never think to look under here for a spare one. So it's just going to go. This is one of my pantry containers. Probably the lid is downstairs. And then this, again, is also a pantry container. So I'll bring those down to the basement to that box you saw earlier. This I used a lot for my shakes when I first started my health program, but I haven't been using it a lot anymore. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this as well. Got a different friend with me today. Huh, Woozy? Actually, maybe I can put it in one. Yeah, that works. I'll just use one. It'll catch the crumbs all the same. That is expired. Wow, 2021. That's pretty bad. Our balsamic vinegar expired in 2021. Oops. This will go up with the coffee stuff. I hate cords. They drive me crazy, so I should do something to tie that up. But this is so much better to me. The teapot I'm going to bring down, because I can now, and put it right here. There we go. There. That looks way better. Things that we use all the time are accessible. Here is all the stuff that is leaving my kitchen. It feels really good. I had no idea. And I just had one shirt there where the neck is too big that I'm getting rid of. And then that trash bag is pretty much full of stuff that I got out of the kitchen as well. Like that nasty expired balsamic. I am celebrating with a congratulations to Karen. Dr. Pepper Zero. I started at 8:30. It's 1 o'clock. Now, I did take a break where I eat every 2 to 3 hours. I had like a 15-minute break at one point to eat, and then I had another like half an hour break for lunch. But I've just been steady at it. So I know some of you who know my health journey will be saying, wow, can you believe what you did? And I can't believe, I mean, honestly, I used to do the 20 to 30 minutes because that's all I could do. And if that's all you can do, that is all you should do. And just peck away at it over a week's time and you'll get it all done. But boy, am I relieved. So I hope that was inspiring to you to get decluttering. I didn't think I had anything to declutter in the kitchen. Seriously, I'm very shocked. But once you get in, you remember, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Especially where like you buy a rice cooker because the other one's broken, but you don't get rid of the broken one. You buy a blender because the other one's broken. You don't get rid of the broken one. So now I'll have my husband kind of separate with me what's going to the dump, what is going to Goodwill. And we still have the stuff that's supposed to go to the dump from our last declutter, him and I, in the basement. So I know that we'll be able to just do all of that at the same time. So the dump will be the next trip, and then Goodwill after that. And I need to decide what I am decluttering next in the basement. And today I'm getting to the deep cleaning, but I want to welcome those of you who are new. My name is Karen. I'm so glad that you are here, and I hope that I can motivate and inspire you to go into the little crevices and drawers of your kitchen and get it cleaned out before fall. By the way, this is our cat Woozy. Yosh. And he's not in a lot of videos. He's our quieter, introverted cat. He's actually on a diet, and he's even going to have his insulin checked in about a week. So he is up here because he already had his breakfast, and he's really hoping that maybe I'll throw more food his way. So that's just the reality of my life. Here is the spice cabinet. And, you know, if I go like this, other than the fact that I could use some more organization down here, it looks fine. And then when you really get in there and start moving things, that's when you realize it's actually pretty gross. And this area under the spices always is a mess. And I honestly can't figure out why. It's not like we open these while they're up here. We pull them down and use them. But oh my goodness, it always gets so messy there. But that's not all. Top drawer is where I keep like cutting boards and my parchment paper, tinfoil that I might need when I'm cooking. Oh my, wait, could you hear that? Watch. Yeah, I'll need to clean that now. But look, this, what a mess. And I think it's just that when you're cooking and stuff from the countertop, it gets kind of, I don't know, and you're opening things, do things get brushed off by mistake and then moved up there when I go like this? I don't know. It's a mystery. Then I have two drawers in my kitchen island. This one is for, you know, tools when you're cooking, but can you see? It really needs to be cleaned out. Then here is silverware. This is the least expensive and the most wonderful silverware tray I've ever had, because think, when you're having a party or a get-together, you just pull that out, put it by the plates and the bowls, and people can go by buffet style, grab their silverware, grab their food. But as you can see, this really needs to get cleaned. I mean, and back here also, bad, bad, bad. And over here, also bad, bad, bad. I'll definitely be getting out my Dyson and getting the attachment on and cleaning out those little spots. The other thing I always do is I always try to dry clean first, get out any crumbs and any nastiness before I go in with a cleaner, because otherwise when you go in with a cleaner, it actually makes it a lot harder if you have dust and debris. So that is just a little hint if you didn't already know it, and I probably ought to get up there and clean those lights. They get terribly dusty. All right, are we ready for this? I think I'm procrastinating at this point. I also am going to start with the drawers. The drawers are easier, and the spice cabinet is probably the hardest one. And a lot of times I would start with the hardest and then it's over with and you feel like, oh, it's all downhill now. But I'm really kind of tired, and I feel like if I do the spices first, I probably won't do anything else. So let's get to the drawers, start with the easy, move on to the hard. We'll gain a little confidence. I'm ignoring that because I always end up doing dishes. It just happens. So I know I will get that done. If there's any reason at all why you might not feel well, you don't have energy, you could easily split all of this up over a week's time, very much like Fly Lady does. Do one drawer a day. It really doesn't matter how long it takes you to do it. If it's done in the end, it's a good thing. So just adding one drawer to each day, it would shock you how quickly you turn around and it's all done. There's never a reason that you need to do all of this stuff in one go. just spraying the rag because I don't want it to be too wet. I just want to know I cleaned it. I'm using the rose scented Mrs. Meyer's. It's one of my favorites. It smells so good, and it definitely helps me to be more motivated to clean when I use it. So I vacuumed off this liner, but it does need to be wiped, so a little more cleaner for that one. The liner is the one that takes all the heat, and I don't have to worry about it getting damaged from being wet. Whereas I honestly do not buy expensive cabinetry, and so I have to be super protective of it. I'm also noting these areas are very dirty. I don't know what this yellowing is. Grease from the air? Let's try a degreaser and see if it gets any cleaner. Because I notice it's only just colored on the oven side. I really don't want to use the white erase because I'm afraid it will take the paint right off. All right, that's as good as we're getting. Let's try the other side. That is much, much better. It would make sense to do these two. I don't know why my oh yeah, because I was getting cleaner. That's why my pantry's open. But I'd really rather get to the drawers of the silverware. It's just kind of where my mood is. I'm going to follow my mood because it helps me to stay motivated. Whenever Woozy gets off the island, Leo runs because he's like, this is my chance. But the mob boss ain't having it, and there's so much nonverbal communication that goes on. All right, kitchen tools next. Look at him. He's like, what are these things? He doesn't know if he should be scared or not. He does not like anything that's abnormal that he doesn't have there normally. Don't mind my office mess. So I get so distracted. So here is the before. Not too bad. Certainly not as bad as, oop, 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 but there it is. Okay, that's what we need to get. One thing I'll mention too, when I'm struggling with energy or soreness or anything, I find that if I just really focus on going slowly, I can get way more done. If I focus on going slowly, I focus on taking breaks, then I tend to get more done in the end. And even if it takes me more days, I'm also less likely to get burned out. So if you're feeling tired, you know, when you see a cleaning video, you see it so sped up, but focus on slowing down. All right, so all this is coming out. Whew. Dirty. These just need to go to the sink. There's just no reason to even try. Here is what I wish I would have done my dishes first. And I'm probably going to wish it again. So, come on, girl. Let's get it done.
Don't be discouraged anymore.
This is one of those hashtag real moments. Hashtag real life moments. I can't even say it. Can't even say it.
Off the floor. Just trust it'll be alright. Your heart is lonely, but it's strong. You might be lost now, and it's not wrong. You'll discover the.
I also need water.
Just trust it'll be alright. Oh, trust it'll be alright. Be still. Be still and know that you're still good enough. Be still and know that your finish line is only yours to find. Be still and know that you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. Yeah, you're gonna make it. Tell all those demons they can hide. They don't know the greatness you have inside. No, stand tall and keep your head up high. And just trust it'll be alright. Yeah. Be still and know you're loved. Be still and know that you're still good enough. Be still and know that your finish line is only yours to find. Be still and know that you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. Yeah, you're gonna make it.
This I don't need because it went with our old rice cooker, and we have a paddle that goes with the new one. So one little declutter. Make that two.
Gonna make it. So never give up. You're gonna make it. Yeah, you're gonna make it. Believe me, you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. Yeah, you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. Yeah, you're gonna make it. Be still and know you're loved. Be still and know that you're still good enough. Be still and know. Be still and know that you're gonna make it. Oh, you're gonna make it.
I am really having to scrub this because it's like the dirt is embedded in the wood. So honestly, my fingernail is my best tool.
You're gonna make it. Yeah, you're gonna make it. Be still and know you're loved. Be still and know that you're still good enough. Be still and know that your finish line is only yours to find. Be still and know that you're gonna make it. Oh, you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it.
Reasons why you clean. That, my friends, is an almond. Ew. That's just nasty. Nasty, nasty. That's where we put our silverware that we eat with, right? That's not good. I gotta do this more often. The other ones aren't as bad. This one's probably the worst of the other ones. All right, I was gonna wet these out, but now I feel like I should go ahead and bring them to the sink as well. You say hi to our friends? Who's just like meowing at me. Say hello. Oh, you want your food? He's a snacker. He eats 3 bites and leaves, comes back, 3 bites and leaves, comes back, 3 bites and leaves. Yep, that's the problem. Why do cats shake their heads? Because half the time they throw their food. I also found a little plastic knife. We don't need that either. So, no declutter is too small.
Many of you know I have worked really hard over the past year to get my health back, and I've lost over 100 pounds. I'm super excited about it. So getting up here on this stool to make sure that these lights are clean is just, I'm singing hallelujah in my head because it is such a huge blessing. This is actually my second break. This one just happens to be outside. So I made myself soup. I eat every 2 to 3 hours. My neighbor is doing some work. Sounds like a chainsaw, which is fine. But this is your reminder to take breaks. This is hot soup because in my opinion, even though it's 10 o'clock in the morning, it's never too early or too hot to eat soup. I love soup. So I'm gonna enjoy my soup Then I'm going to get to that spice cabinet. At first I was thinking, maybe I'll wipe down the bottom cabinets first. No, because if I turn my head upside down, my shoulder gets aggravated. I don't know why. And then I'll never get to that spice cabinet. I know that spice cabinet is really not that big of a deal. I just don't want to do it for some reason. But I'm going to be so glad and so satisfied when it's done. So I'm going to do it. Ooh, that's hot. All right. I'm also, while I'm doing it, I'm going to watch a Clutterbug video. Do you guys watch Clutterbug, her channel? She is so awesome, so sweet. Let's see. Also, here's the thing. She did a live, and I got to go to her channel. Did you know this? If you miss a live, and so you go to their home page to find it, you need to click on live. So, like a lot of times, I'll click on video to see what I've missed. Man, is it loud out here. But the only way to see the lives, like this is her latest videos, the only way to see live is to go to the live channel or to go to the live section. And then there it is. Ask your organizing questions. I'm going to listen to this while I am doing my spice cabinet. That always helps me get through something I don't want to do. Which do you like better? Do you like channels where they tell you how to declutter and organize, like The Minimal Mom, like Clutterbug? What's the other one? Is it Dana White? Is that her name? I always forget her name because there's one that cleans. I think that's Lynn White. Or do you like ones like, there's a hoarder one that I know a lot of you watch where she's cleaning out her basement. I can't remember her name or the name of her channel, but I feel like it has the word hoarders in it. So do you prefer to watch people declutter and talk while they're doing it, or do you prefer to watch like Minimal Mom where she's telling you either how to declutter or how to be a minimalist? Let me know in the comment section. Or do you like both? That's a valid answer too. It's going to take me a minute, but this is really hot. All right, no more procrastination. Clutterbug's going to come through for me. Coming in for the clutch. Going to put the AirPods in so I cannot hear another thing, including myself. Home organization ideas and advice. 58 minutes worth. So this will get me through. I'm even going to plug in. These are going in the pantry. Ooh, that's really bad. I'm doing this dry because it's crumbs. I don't want to get it super wet because it's hard to dry. So this is a little damp from what I was doing before. Notice I'm doing one shelf, not two. Then when I'm done with one shelf, I'll do the other. So I sprayed this with degreaser and let it sit. I used degreaser because this is so close to the stove
grease does get in there, even though it's shut, hopefully. I definitely noticed the degreaser works better that I have sprayed it ahead. I can see the yellow and brown that's coming right off. Like, I can see this is greasy and not from using it. This must be pepper. I don't even know what that is. That's coming out. Ooh, this expired. All right, this is going to expire before the holidays, and it's cinnamon sticks, so I'm just going to get rid of it now. Also expired. I didn't even realize that because I do this often, but already 3. Let's see if I can move some of these up here. Cream of tartar. No point. This is where the ones that don't match go in the back. Then the front always looks pretty. I always put a full one we might have bought by mistake in front of one that we're using. That way, when this is gone, we automatically see the one that's full instead of buying one. Ones I use all the time always are in the front. Ones we use a lot go behind it. So like Italian spices are here and Mexican spices are here. This, it doesn't match, but it's so yummy. Have you ever had the Trader Joe's Green Goddess? Oh, so good on literally everything. Just chicken, and then you put the chicken in a salad. So good. Ooh. This expired October 22nd. October 9th, 2022. Some things I know are new, so I don't even check the dates. Oh, 2022. Just so you know, my anxiety doesn't let me use stuff that is expired, even if I think it'll be fine. I think I lost the lid to this. Now I can clean this mess. This is from corn syrup. It's like yellowed. At some point I gotta replace these. Not yet, but maybe the next time. Need to think about it. Because it's just all the discoloring just doesn't look nice. And it's not gonna come out. I've had them for several years. Alright, as good as it's gonna get. Alright, stuff we rarely use is going in the very back. Stuff we use all the time will come toward the front. This, I don't even remember when we bought this, but I have plenty of onion powder. I'm going to declutter this. Can I just show you how exciting it is that this baking soda fit like that? That never happens to me, that it all just fit. All right, so these are the ones we use a lot. I just remembered this. This needs to go up there too. These need to be put away, obviously, but this, a friend of mine, you know, Heather, that I do decluttering for, her husband keeps bees, so this is their honey. This up here is fine, so I'm not touching it. So, but this, look how beautiful it is. I knew I would be so happy that I did this. Here's what's going. I noticed that we need vanilla and nutritional yeast, so write those down so we can get more of that with groceries. So the fact that I was watching Clutterbug, I do know that that took me 30 minutes because I saw 30 minutes of her live. It's about 11:30 in the morning, so between breaks and everything, it really took my morning to do what I did do, what you saw. I want to keep a very realistic view with you on how long this actually takes. It's a gorgeous day outside, so I'm going to spend 20 minutes sitting in the sun because I've been doing that every day to get natural vitamin D into my body because at 58 years old, I work harder at my health. I want to rest. I need to edit a video that I did Heather's clothing at her house, and so that's going to be coming to you before this video comes to you. So I want to get that edited. There's other things. And then my daughter and I are going to a place called Meow Lounge. See if you have one in your area. We've never been. It's brand new because it hasn't been in our area very long. And I'll see if I can maybe even get a couple little pictures to show you where they have adoptable cats that you're spending time with. They have activities like cat yoga and different things. But we're just going to go hang out. It's a Saturday for us. So we're just going to go and see what all that is about. Sorry about lighting. I'm kind of half shade, half sun. Either way, you know, you have to do things at your own pace, not at my pace or anyone else's pace, but your pace. And this is my pace for now. I have spent enough time on the kitchen and it's going to wait for another day. I also need to get on my treadmill. I'm trying to prioritize health, and my mental health is part of that too. And so going out doing things I enjoy and not working from sunup to sundown, spending some time in the sun, getting some healthy movement as I can, eating healthy, drinking, all those things, getting sleep. So that's just your little friendly mama reminder from me to you because I love you very much. And so this is what I have in place of junk drawers. So I want to get these decluttered, organized, and very well labeled. Whoops. This is what I have instead of a junk drawer. Let's be honest, all of this would never fit in a junk drawer. I also noticed that there were things that could be rehomed elsewhere, and I think partly that is a junk drawer, is like stuff where it was just easier to throw it in a drawer, right? But there are some things that are just miscellaneous and that need to be in a junk drawer, and I hate junk drawers, which is why I have these boxes. This one, these, and that are like 8.5 by 11. Well, they can't both be, can they? Yeah, 8.5 by 11. Well, if that's 8.5 by 11. Oh, I just didn't have it set right.
Can you hear the birds? Amazing. All right, I want to start with the easy and move out to the hard. Easy is batteries. So I have this battery holder. I wish it was bigger. I need a bigger one, honestly, because you're not supposed to keep batteries apparently touching end to end like that when they're in storage. But this really does not fit enough batteries to even one of these packages. So I feel like I need to get another one for it to really be efficient. So this is trash already. I should get a trash bag. So I end up using a spot that is for bigger batteries. Not the worst thing. Since I don't have bigger batteries, I guess it works out fine. I don't even know. Why is that there? This is trash. Making sure there's no other batteries. Ooh, flashlight. This should go with storm stuff in the basement. Stuff that needs to be rehomed is going to go there. I think that's all the batteries. Oh my goodness, this can go with storm stuff. I think it's another one of those storm capes. This is a phone protector. I have no idea whose it is. So I'll take a little bit of detective work. Same with this. See, this is what happened is someone had an Apple something or other, and what happens is you get more than you need when you order them. Wet wipes for when you're putting those front protectors on. Here is another storm cape. This is also for a phone, so I'm going to pull that out, do like I did with the water bottles, and find out who it belongs to. Probably belongs to me, wouldn't it be funny? I will test my phone first. So all of that goes with the same. That's probably trash. Trash is here. And then I think command strips are definitely going to stay in here. That's more iPhone stuff. This trash, and I know like network key or something my husband's always telling me. So I am going to ask him where to put the network key because I bet it would be in the little drawers by the desk. Trash. So any compact strips are coming over here. Wouldn't it be amazing if I did not need all of these boxes? Because I could think of better things to do and with them. And this pen, that's a nice pen. And I usually keep a couple Sharpies, but I don't have much in the way of pens right now, so this can go with pens. Then I have a stray battery, which can go in my very small battery holder. Just find a spot, it's okay. Paint tape, which would go with paint supplies. Craft wire, which would go with craft supplies, because I do have craft stuff in the basement. This would go in my you know what? This would go in my sewing kit, but I do know people like to be able to grab it out of here, but they're going to have to learn to go to the sewing kit. Let's go to the sewing kit. This is a padlock. Oh, from Planet Fitness. I think we must have bought this. I wonder if we even know the combo. I'm going to ask my husband about that one too. I'll put with the iPhone stuff. And this, I don't even know. So I have mail packing tape here, which is fine. Glue, which if I keep it should go with the craft supplies. Trash over here. This was a hook for my pans that fell off the wall and never got replaced. I feel like this screw, you probably can't see, is actually for my dining room chairs. Okay, plant food. I have gardening gloves. This is trash. So there's more tape in here. Tape, tape.
more compact strips, another flashlight, another rain cape. How many do we have? Because what happens is it rains and you don't know where they are. More hooks, replacement bulbs for Christmas lights. Oh dear. More hooks, tape. Actually, I could put the paint tape in there. Tape. Express bed patch kit. Another one I have to ask my husband. And these are those little pads you put under furniture, which I'll put with the compact strips. I feel like, and this is oh, I wonder if this screw goes with this. I doubt it. We can put this with the screws, which I happen to have in my bedroom. Why? Because we were having company. I had them in the living room, and I thought, oh, I'll just put it there. Trash. Shouldn't have my batteries in the trash. What are you thinking, Karen? All right. Wow, that was too fast. I feel like all of this could fit in one. Now, Vaughn buys these for me from Bath and Body Works. So cute, right? I feel like I should put them with seasonal items, although this I could use any time of the year. I just don't have any of these. So I might put this down with decor. I am going to put this down with the decor. This would be more like office supply, but I'm going to put it in the box with the tape because I don't want to put it in my office. Seriously, it's everywhere. Now, these are my refrigerator liners. I see this one is stained, and I just washed this one, and there's a stain on that too. So I was already thinking I was going to cut another piece, but there's an extra piece here, although that has a stain. What about this one? All right, this one I can put in the fridge. And these I'm going to get rid of because they're stained. I'll just throw them away. So that goes to trash. Oh, look. Now this should go upstairs with my cleaning stuff. It's a duster. It doesn't look like it was ever used. I think this went to our old tub. In fact, I'm sure of it. So that is trash. All right. This should also go upstairs with cleaning stuff. This goes with screws. This is when it's really good to have cleaning wipes because I don't even have to spray anything. I just wipe. And there's this one. Same cleaning wipe. Found yet another screw. It would be nice if I could keep this one as a place to put papers that need to be filed, although that's not the right lid. Is this it? There we go. Yeah, I'm going to attempt to not need this. Papers is the next decluttering video, but I'm procrastinating currently, so I'm doing literally every other thing. This one is usually for pet supplies, but so much more is here. This goes with crafts. This, I do usually keep this upstairs. We don't need this till spring, so this can go in my outdoor shelf in the basement, even though I use those indoors. Oh, here's more tarot traps. Oh, this is for travel. So this should go upstairs. It's a little dusty. Glue stick goes with the glue stick thing. Glue stick goes with the glue gun. See, most of this is just stuff. Oh, here's the ceiling to my upstairs bathroom. Most of this stuff, it's just needing to be rehomed. This is obviously not usable, so that's trash. 2 more glue sticks. A command hook. And I don't know what that goes to. This comb, I guess, is for pets. I don't know. This is Leo's sweater that he hates, so he would love it if I would declutter this and not tell anybody. But I didn't buy it, so he's kind of stuck with it. Here's a little harness for if he goes outside, which is not often. Little combs. There we go. So that's all that needs to be in there. These I feel like can be under the stairs, but kind of just they're loose to grab, especially since I'm going to have one less storage box. Okay, I give up. So these need to be rehomed. I just remembered I have under the bed storage. So I'm going to write that under bed storage declutter. Here I am thinking, oh, there's like nothing else. I wonder what else is hiding that I'm not thinking of. I feel like I need to just go room by room and like look under things. Oh my goodness. One thing I do struggle with, and by the way, I'm putting trash in the trash bag. This goes upstairs. Okay. One thing I do struggle with is conflicting ideas. Part of me is like, oh, this container went with the iPhone stuff. I actually think this might have been mine. I'm going to double check. All right. Anyway, what I was trying to say to you, that I struggle with two conflicting ideas. Part of me says get everything out of the basement. Like as you declutter, bring up stuff so that you don't have stuff in the basement. Then part of me is like, oh, this needs to go in the basement. So what I want in the basement right now is obviously like Christmas stuff would be in the basement. You know, off-season decor, I get that. Then I think, well, obviously stuff that would go in an outdoor shed, my husband's tools, all of his stuff. I try to think of what is actually mine down there. Because the craft stuff really isn't mine. I don't do crafts. The sewing stuff, I'm keeping it for the girls. I'm realizing summer floats, skates, activity stuff. It's not mine. I have a few Bibles, and I was actually thinking of decluttering those because the Bibles I use are upstairs here in the main floor. The problem with decluttering the Bibles is I write in my Bible a lot. Like, who would want a Bible that's been written all over the, you know, like I write a lot, underline, highlight, all this stuff. So then it's like, what do I do with it? It's a hard decision. You don't want to throw away a Bible. That sounds just terrible. Okay, so back to what I was thinking. Then I have the stuff that's for pets. My luggage, that's mine. That's going to stay down there. So I guess I'm doing the best I can. I actually have an ottoman that's going to be coming for the living room. And even though we don't play board games a lot, I was thinking, well, that's an option for board games right there, is putting it in an ottoman. Is that what it's called? It's a footstool that you put stuff in. All right, so I'm thinking too hard and I'm hurting myself. So I'm going to continue. Deal with what I can. And it's all going to get worked out as I continue decluttering. But I am realizing that there's really not much in the basement that I am keeping for me, if anything, other than decor. I guess the decor is mine. That actually makes me feel kind of good. All right. The other thing, I had this Glad Lock bag because, you know, there's a lot of extra space in here. Tape, 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 and tape. So I could put compact strips in here too. So this is trash. Take it out of the packaging. And the things you put under furniture, which only to me works for furniture that's not getting pulled out a lot. I wouldn't put these, I've tried putting these on like dining room chairs. The sticky parts just end up sticking to the floor. I don't know. It just ends up. What am I doing? I'm throwing away my compact strip. I always call them compact strips. What are they called? Command strips. Lord, this is what happens when you get old. You don't even know what stuff's called anymore. I'm supposed to put in the command strips in here. Then they can go in here. Because I don't need all these boxes, it would appear, if I just put stuff away. So I feel like this issue is going to continue to happen here. I just need to go through these every couple of months and put stuff away that escaped. Right? Then these were the stained ones, so those are going in the trash. They are washable, and I need to remember the next time I wash them is to use some stain remover. Then one of these, was it this one? No, it was this one. I'm going to put in my refrigerator. So these could go on the bottom here. I got them on Amazon. Alright, gloves needs to go with gardening stuff in the basement. So I'm going to bag up the basement stuff so that that stuff can be put away. I'm going to put the stuff that goes upstairs just on the stairs right now. Yvonne has a friend over, and I don't tend to film right in front of friends. Honestly, Robin doesn't mind. He used to not even be afraid. Like, he didn't even like to be in front of the camera. But now he'll do a cooking video. He doesn't care who's here. I love that. It's my goal. It's what I'm working on this year, is to get less shy about filming. You would think I'd be over it by now. All right, this is trash. Then this and this goes upstairs with cleaners. Then these go with decor. I don't know where to put this. I guess for now it'll go back in the junk box. Junk box, which right now I only have one. And this. I'm going to put the stuff under the stairs that goes under the stairs, and then everything else needs to be dealt with. And I'll show you, because it's going to be amazing. It's going to be so much cleaner. I just realized I labeled nothing. All right, these were what I had showed you during the office declutter. So they're these. And then I stick this label on it. I've been trying to find a white Sharpie in stores, but I can only find silver. So, cat stuff. Cat stuff. How perfect is that? I am going to use this one because everyone likes to just like jam their hands in to grab extension cords. So I'm going to put the 2 extension cords here. I was going to put the batteries in too, but I don't think that really works. Now I should tell people, right? Extension cords. I think it's obvious. But if there's anything I have noticed, no one else thinks my organization is obvious. Extension cords. Labeling is fun, and I should do it more often, but I have no patience for a label maker. This isn't going to fit in there. There we go. That works. That works. I mean, it doesn't fit perfectly on there, but it's good. All right, now this one is miscellaneous. I mean, I feel like I'll be able to find stuff in here, but others. So I'm going to write tapes, command strips, elastics, chair buffers, we'll call them, right? That's really the only thing that others are going to be looking for that's going to be in here. I'm smelling the Sharpie. Like, it also has my refrigerator liners, but I can see through the box. So I know that's in there. I'm not worried about me. I honestly don't need the labels. So there we go. Now I can put the stuff in there and show you what it looks like. Oh, I just realized I should have put this on the side. Oh, I did have a label on here. It's just not what I have in here anymore. So this label needs to be on the side too. I'm also gonna store the labels with the covers. That makes sense. And the silver pen, which goes in my office. This is the pile of papers I need to file. It's going to be in a different video because this also, I will at the same time get all of the paperwork ready for taxes. And this is an empty box. This is actually dirty on the top. Not a big surprise. Dusty. Wow, I'm proud of myself because I went from 3 boxes to 2. I'll be even more proud once I put the stuff away in the basement. Even more proud. And all the stuff that needs to be rehomed is going in here, and it would be a good way to bring it to the basement. And why do I have such a big bag, you ask? Well, as soon as I get this stuff in it, I shall show you. I have been just kind of bagging up stuff that needs to go to the basement. Oh, that can go with our pens. And it's going to happen, so don't go anywhere. Don't move a muscle. Stay tuned. I just need to figure out the phone covers. See that right there? Same situation. Oh dear. This, oh lordy. I should have gone through this. Oh no, this must be for my office declutter. There's a fork in here. Oh, that actually is a baby fork. That moment when you weren't recording. Start over so the people can see. Alright, that's my husband's. This needs to go where I just put command strips. So annoying. That goes in the basement with the baby stuff. Decluttering. Using. I'll put that in my pocketbook. This is from when I went to the Bahamas. Look, it's Bahamian money. This goes with the other post-it notes. This is mine for like ibuprofen and stuff. This goes with the tape. Whipped vanilla hand cream. Almost empty. So I think I'll get rid of that. Feels good though. I'm going to declutter this broken ornament. Although I loved it, I'll just get myself another one someday. Or one like it. Alright, keys need to stay. I got a place for keys. This could go where I put the other padlock. Under the stairs. So annoying to pull that stuff out again. I'm going to keep these 3. Declutter these 2. This is probably my husband's, goes with his tools in the basement. Little thermometer thing. This was with like a science kit. Sometimes I use it if my kids say it's cold in here. I'll be like, all right, hold this and see what the temperature is, because usually it's not cold. This goes with storm stuff. This is a ring of mine. Should go with my other rings beside my bed or wherever we decide to put them. That can go with school stuff. These go in cars. Found a screw, of course. Alright, so these are being decluttered. Another screw. Don't know what that is. Getting rid of it. Don't need that. Need that. Okay. It's my husband's. I have to see if he wants it. More keys. Decluttering these. Need to know where my husband wants this little baby. Alright, I need to deal with these issues. I'm going to declutter this too because I don't have the cover for it. So I can put these things that I'm getting rid of in it. Where were we?
This was also stuff that needed to go to the basement. So now look, it's all in one bag. These I got for the cabinet that needed the measuring cup. Someone had said I should use my Rubbermaids that I wanted to get rid of. And I thought, great idea. But then I saw these at Dollar General today for $2 a piece. And I thought, if that's not perfect. So I bought them. All right, so that's ready for me. I'm going to take a break for now. Deal with the odds and ends, and then it's supper time. So if I don't get to it tonight, I'll do it first thing in the morning. But I definitely want to ask my husband about the little... Can you see me? Got dark. About the little odds and ends, but he actually, here I am again, but he actually fell asleep. So I don't want to wake him up. So I will ask him about the odds and ends, put my odds and ends away, and take a nice break for supper. Do you remember my unorganized before? Well, here is what we accomplish today. It's the next morning, and I am eating my apple cinnamon oatmeal. And I wanted to tell you, I never did put that stuff away in the basement. I was going to get up early today and go do it and film it and put it at the end of this video. But then I thought of someone who said that in the comments, and I agree because I'm the same way. Even if somebody says, oh, this is the next day, in your brain, because you're seeing it all in one video, it makes you feel like it all got done in one go. And it's just one of those things where you feel like, why can't I get that much done? You know, and that can happen anyway if you and I have different bandwidths. We have to accept what we can get done in a day. So it's going to be during because today is the day I would normally do my reset video, you know, my reset in my home, and so obviously a reset video, getting ready for the next week. And that's kind of like getting the groceries in, getting the laundry done, and getting kind of caught up. That's my time to get caught up. So it makes more sense that it would be during the catch up. Something else I thought of, and I feel like it's at the end of the video here, so if you're still here, thank you. And it's definitely my friends and I at this point, because anybody who's, you know, not engaged in what we do here is probably gone. So I was watching one of our favorite declutter personalities on a podcast, and she said, and this is, I'm saying this to why I have reset videos, why I have cleaning videos, even though kind of YouTube has decided I'm a decluttering channel. So I know when I put up cleaning content, I'm not going to have as many views. We all go through that as creators. But I am committed to keeping those videos on my channel because, okay, one of my favorite, or our favorite minimalist declutterers said on a podcast that she has a woman who comes and cleans her home every other week. I respect that. I'm happy for her that she can afford that. Who knows, maybe someday I'll do that too. I don't do that right now. So the reason that I'm sharing this is I used to watch her videos and I would think, she has young children, she homeschools, her husband has his own channel, so YouTube is their full-time job together. So her husband, it is true, doesn't have a job separate from YouTube, but he has his own channel, so that's a lot of work. That could be full-time right there. Anyway, I'm like, how is she doing all this and her home is literally always spotless? Okay, she has help. That's awesome. And she has kids that can do chores, of course, but I'm happy for her that she has help. I don't hire help. It's not something I could afford even if I wanted to. So if I didn't show the cleaning videos, I feel like it would present that I'm either not cleaning or I have it so together. I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't be real for me and for most of us. Most of us don't have a cleaning lady. We can't devote full time to keeping our house minimal and decluttered, right? Most of us don't have that. So that's who I want to represent, the people who are like me, who are fighting through it, trying to declutter their home, trying to keep it clean, sometimes minimal energy, sometimes sick, sometimes injured. I've done all those things here on the channel. And so I hope you understand. I'm the same way if I see certain types of videos from my favorite YouTube creators, I'll skip them. Okay, so that's the reason to subscribe, is when you skip videos, then YouTube won't show that creator on your homepage. But if you've subscribed, you can click on subscriptions. It will show, I'm going to say it 100 times, sorry. It will show you all the creators you have subscribed to, and you can catch up on the videos that you enjoy. So I hope that explains why I'm not completing the cycle. I'm not completing the cycle in this video because I didn't complete the cycle yesterday. We had dinner. I drove one of my daughters to an art group. I came home. I got home at like 9:15. I took a shower. I took my melatonin and I went to bed. That's just real, right? So if you're like me, then leave a comment, hit the like button, do all the things, subscribe if you're new. Remember, as always, that God loves you and I love you too, and I can't wait to see you next time.